Hey guys, welcome to the channel and welcome to the reaction of the newest trailer of The Last of Us Part 2, which apparently now has a release date that I have seen plastered all over Twitter. I know it is the 21st of February of next year, which is much sooner than I thought it was going to be. I thought it would be coming out in maybe late 2020, if 2020 at all. I had no clue it was even ready to be released. But I am so excited for this. As you guys know, Last of Us is my favourite game ever for so many different reasons. I'm just so attached to the characters. Like Ellie and Joel just touched me in a way that no other characters in any game ever have. So they finally announced the new trailer and we're here to watch it now. So let's get into it, guys.
Scale of 1 to 10. How would you rate our kiss from last night?
I'm getting teary-eyed already. Oh my god.
Look who decided to join us.
I'm not gonna say too much.
You all know the drill.
Y'all know the drill, that we'll discuss it after.
Mark your logbooks. You run into anything you can't handle.
Ellie!
Hey.
You come back.
I hate these guys. Snow sequences as well. So this looks like actual gameplay. I don't know if it is.
Get off me! Please stop! No!
Oh.
Tommy, I have to finish it.
You have no idea
Oh.
what you're walking into.
What are you doing?
You don't know how
Oh,
large
yes.
that group is, how armed.
I don't care. You can't stop this.
Yes, my girl going on a rampage.
What the hell are you doing here?
You think I'd let you do this on your own?
Joel? No! Was that it? We have Papa Joel. Papa Joel is back. But is he actually back? I don't think they would have killed him off screen. I hope to God they haven't. But then there's obviously been a lot of theories that he is dead, but then obviously a lot of people think he's alive. I'm one of the people who thinks he's most likely alive. I don't think Naughty Dog would kill such an important character off screen, but he's in it. He's at least in it a little bit. Right, so let's go back and properly look at things and kind of analyze it now. I didn't want to say too much just then, but now let's go back through and kind of comb through it. Okay, so it looks like they're living on some sort of settlement at the moment. I don't know if it's meant to be Tommy's settlement or not. I'm guessing it's not because Ellie sees Tommy in the trailer and she seems awfully surprised to see him. So if it was his settlement and he was something to do with it and he was sort of running the place, then she wouldn't be so shocked. So I have no idea what this settlement is, who any of these people are, who Dina is actually supposed to be. I know she's obviously a love interest for Ellie, but we don't know where she's come from or where they are. But it looks like they're part of a really fully fledged, like fleshed out community at the moment.
How would you rate our kiss from last night?
I love how Ellie seems really unsure what to say to that. She's like, yeah, you have to give me a minute. It was different.
Look who decided to join us.
So that gives me the feeling that maybe Ellie hasn't been part of the gang for like quite a little while. Maybe she took a step back, or maybe she's just not the most reliable person and she hasn't been taking things seriously.
All right. You all know the drill. Run your routes.
So it looks like we're starting in a snowy section again, so it looks like the game might be beginning in winter and sort of making its way over to spring, which is obviously the reverse of the first game. I was the worst in the first game in terms of stealth and playing as Ellie. I really struggled with it, and so I'm not looking forward to being thrown back into the winter section. I think I have actually grown as a gamer since I last played this game, so hopefully it will be okay. I'm really liking the attention to detail in the winter sections as well.
Mark your logbooks. You run into anything you can't handle.
So then something obviously happens here where Ellie gets separated from the rest of the group. And I don't think I really noticed that before, but I think that was actually Dina then, with the clicker. I've thought that was Ellie the whole time, but I was just looking and she's got the little bun that Dina has. So now the obvious conclusion that I think myself and a lot of people are coming to is that something happens to Dina and the whole game is about Ellie's revenge on the group of people who killed her.
You come back.
See, that there kind of looks like gameplay. And it's interesting that you've got the over-the-shoulder sort of view of Ellie. And we're in a cabin again, which makes me really uncomfortable. But I'm guessing Dina was taken away and she's being tortured, and this is what Ellie comes across now.
Get off me! Please stop!
And so the conclusion I think most of us are coming to is that Dina gets killed by this group of people. It could be Joel. For all we know, it could be Joel, but I highly doubt they do that. But then making us think it's Dina, it's kind of too obvious for it to be Dina. And I think Naughty Dog are obviously going to want to keep us guessing for this game, considering it's supposed to be like the biggest release of the year. Also, can we talk about how fucking ripped Ellie is?
Tommy, I have to finish it.
Looks very similar to like where we saw the giraffes in the first game.
You have no idea what you're walking into.
What are you doing?
See, that bit looks really beautiful. I'm looking forward to playing that bit with the boat. I'm hoping that's a playable thing and not a cutscene. But this right here looks like it could be gameplay, but then this here kind of seems like it was supposed to happen, which makes me wonder, is that a sort of gameplay mechanic where she pulls the arrows out of herself, or was that a cutscene?
You can't stop this.
She's going to be going through so much more mental and physical trauma than she did in the first one. And I think it's going to have such more a psychological impact on the player. I think Ellie is just so fucked in this game, guys. I think we're going to be crying a lot. Then we have the badass montage. Yeah, kind of like that you see over Ellie's shoulder. I think it's a really interesting angle that they've gone for. And then obviously here we have Joel. But what's interesting is Ellie looks like she's outside here, but then it looks like Joel is indoors. But then if I go back a little bit, I suppose you can see here that definitely looks like Joel's hand, and you can see behind her that is like an indoor area that's obviously just sort of fell apart. So she's outside while Joel's inside.
What the hell are you doing here?
But they made him look so
You think I'd
old.
let you do this on your own?
He looks so beautiful. He's got the same eyes and everything, look, the kind eyes. See there, his eyes kind of go soft and then they become just a bit harsher. But he's like, for fuck's sake, this is something I know she's going to have to do and I'm going to have to let her do it. But also, can we talk about how gorgeous Ellie looks? She actually doesn't look how I expected. The character model's a little bit different from what I expected, but it's definitely still Ellie. Like, if you go back and compare it to the first game, it's definitely still Ellie. And then Joel is just like the same, but so old. He'd be like in his 60s now, I think. He looks quite good. Like, he doesn't look that bruised up considering his age and all the stuff they're going to have had to have gone through in previous years. Because obviously as he gets older, he's going to be able to do less and less stuff, especially considering the ending of the last game when he was really, really hurt. It does make me question whether we're going to get to actually play as Joel or whether it's just going to be Ellie this time around. They might mix it up and do both, but I feel like actually Joel is just going to be more of the plot this time and the story is more about Ellie. The first game and the first story was about Joel, and now this time it's like Ellie's chance to shine kind of thing. I was kind of thinking that maybe we get to play as Dina. I think it's Dina, isn't it? Her name, that's how you pronounce it. I was thinking maybe you get to play as her for a little bit, just to kind of change things, like Riley and Ellie in the Last of Us DLC. It would be cool if we actually got to play as like Ellie's love interest this time. But then obviously we think that it might be Dina that dies and then it's Ellie trying to get revenge on the people that killed her. But then where does Joel come into it all? Like, the group that she's trying to kill are obviously much bigger than just having killed Dina, because it just makes me think obviously Joel has the attachment of wanting to come and help us because he loves Ellie, but then at the same time maybe he feels like it's his job to do. Maybe it's still something to do with the Fireflies and everything, because as we know, the Fireflies have been mentioned in this game. You have the Firefly logo on a stop sign in one of the previous trailers. Maybe it's the Fireflies that killed Dina, maybe it's a completely separate group, because as we've seen from previous trailers that it looks like a very kind of different group of people that are going around terrorizing people. But yeah, I have no idea what to think of the plot for this. I don't want to think about it too much, because they obviously want to keep us guessing, and I think there'll be a huge plot twist that none of us will be expecting. But I just don't know what it's going to be. But you cannot understand how excited I am for this game. It's coming out so much sooner than I thought it would be. I thought it would be like 2021 maybe, like spring 2021. But the fact that it's going to be early next year, I think February is an amazing date to release it. But yeah, when this comes out, everything else on the channel is going to be like dropped, and it's going to be this. Just spam this until I'm done with it. And at the same time, I don't want to finish like Ellie and Joel's story. I was happy with it the way it was, and now I'm scared that something really bad's going to happen, because obviously the end of the last game was like open interpretation. That we just could believe that it went well, we could believe that things went wrong and Ellie found out that Joel lied to her. But now we might actually get to see a proper conclusion, and I'm not sure I'm ready for that. Like, I like having an open interpretation. I can pretend that everything was okay. But I just kind of feel like Ellie does find out about Joel lying to her, and maybe that's part of the anguish that she's going through, is that not only maybe something happens to Dina, but she learns that obviously all she really ever had in life was Joel, and she loses him too because she finds out that he lied to her and she feels like she can't trust him anymore. Like in that scene where he goes to her just and says, "You really think I'd let you do this on your own?" He's got really soft, like kind eyes, and you can tell he cares about her, but she kind of looks a bit like harsh, that she doesn't want to see him and she doesn't want to talk to him. So I wonder if they're going to bring that back up, because I highly doubt they're just going to gloss over it, the fact that he lied to her at the end of the last game. I'm hoping they'll sort of bring it up somewhere. Maybe it's something to do with the beginning as well, where that guy says, "Oh, look who decided to join us." Like maybe Ellie had just taken a step back for a bit and was kind of depressed and not wanting to go and not wanting to join in with stuff because she found out that Joel lied to her maybe. But my main question is she going to be making jokes this time? Is she going to be making any puns? Like, it makes me really sad that in the first game she was still quite, she was quite sassy and funny and still had the capacity to, like, she tried to learn how to whistle, still made the occasional joke, and she was quite strong. And in this game it just seems like everything is becoming way too much for her, and she's just physically not capable anymore of holding things in, and all of the things that she's endured in her entire life have just become too much for her. And I feel like jokes won't even be entering her mind in this game. Maybe Joel will have to be the comic relief instead. She's gonna have to go through so much pain in her, and I'm really not sure I'm ready to see her go through it all, guys. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to like, subscribe and comment. It's been a while since I've done one of these, so I'm a little rusty. I only just managed to get the studio set back up again after the flood the other day. I'm hoping that this will be fine now. Just about managed to set everything back up. Everything is okay, everything works, my computer, my PlayStation. You guys don't want to hear about that, that'll be a separate thing. Let me know whether you think it'll be Game of the Year, because while I do, and obviously thousands of other people do, we all expected Red Dead Redemption 2 to be last year's Game of the Year, and it wasn't, it was God of War. So maybe, just maybe, something will beat this out because people might think it's a bit too overhyped, but I reckon it will be. It's got so much love and fans and history there that I think there's no way it's not going to be Game of the Year. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.
Hey yo!